Let's begin the Bagua class. Today we will go over an overview of the third Bagua change, Jiang style Bagua change. And we'll also look at the postures and techniques. There's 8 postures and techniques, which is part of the warm-up. Today we'll look at 4 of those. And then we'll look at the third change, and that will be plenty of material to go on. For those of you who know the warm-up, the fourth and last part of the warm-up is walking the circle in one of 8 postures. Right? So, the walking, first there's the walking, then there's the posture, then there's the associated Bagua techniques. With the walking, we're walking in the circle, loosening the hips, keeping the body upright. And of course, we walk in the circle in one of 8 postures. With the postures, there's different names for the postures. I'll use the animal names. First posture here is the bear, or double hands pushing downwards. Don't forget the first verse of the Bagua verses, which is leave the chest empty, lift the crown, settle the waist. Twist within the stance, brace the knees, grasp the ground firmly. The last line, eyes must look through the tiger's mouth, obviously here doesn't apply. We're not looking down. But everything else applies to all the postures. Today we'll look at 4 of the postures: bear posture, yin-yang fish, eagle, and dragon. With all of them, you can look at this drill as a practice drill in and of itself, just with each one. Right? So if we take the bear posture here, set the shoulders, lower the elbows, lift the torso, loosen the hips, walk through the circle. For the techniques, the turn, it starts always turning into the center of the circle. For this one, outside foot turns in, turn in the leg. The other foot is going to step onto the circle line. Press the palms down. Set into the front hip. Lift the other knee. Set the foot down. Walk the circle. Here I have a very small circle. Maybe if you're doing this in front of your computer, you also have a very small circle. Ideal is to have a circle that's a little bit larger than this. Same thing turning the other way, of course. Outside foot steps in, turn in the leg. So we're turning into the circle. Right. Open the hands. Step the other foot onto the circle line. Press the palms down. Set into the front hip. Turn and lift the knee. Set down. Walk the circle. Once more on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next posture, yin-yang fish, outside shoulder and arm is up, bracing outwards, fingertips pointing into the circle. Other hand placed behind us, fingertips pointing out of the circle. Make sure that the shoulder doesn't roll forward but stays open. Here, turning through the waist. Extend into the palms, walking the circle. Stepping for the change, for the technique is the same. Outside leg steps in, turn that foot. Other foot is going to step onto the circle line. Upper hand has come to the hip as we step through. There's no lift of the knee, it's just a step through and a spear of the hand. Swing that hand into the circle and place it behind us as the other hand comes up. So again, the outside arm is up, inside arm and shoulder is back. Walking the circle. Keep the hips relaxed. Outside foot steps in. Extend to that back hand. Press. Step out onto the circle line. Bring the other hand by the hip. Set into the front hip. Step through and spear. Same thing. Step, press into that back hand. Lower the upper hand, step, spear. Swing the arms. Keep the body upright. Shoulders are open. And walk. Once more. Other side. Turn into the circle. Step, spear. With the eagle, it's still setting the shoulders and elbows down and then pressing up with the palms. Still same stepping technique at the beginning. Step in, roll the hands, step out, open, gather up, hook and catch. Step through and back to the eagle posture. Roll the arms, open, roll them back in, catch. Catch means with the outside of the bend of the wrist, press and pull. Step through. Fold the arms in and brace them out with an opening action. This can be with thinking of this distal part of the arm and the hand and the wrist, but also it can include the upper shoulder and upper arm. And the last one that we'll cover today of the 8 is, of course, dragon. Come across, stepping is still the same, and then push to the side. Turn, lower hand comes under the elbow, look over the shoulder, raise the arms up, turn, set the palms out. Dragon to the other side. As the outside foot steps in, this hand, upper hand, cuts across. Set onto that leg. Other foot, as always, stepping onto the circle line. Both hands press. Upper hand stays upper hand. Lower hand stays lower hand. Just changing their position. Here, keeping the weight set back. Open the front foot, so we're going to face away from the circle. The lower hand's going to thread under the arm. Right? We bring the fingertips up as we turn through the waist. Turn the palms to resume the dragon posture and walk through. One, 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, these are not the order of them. I'm doing them out of order. The reason for doing these particular 4 is because of how they relate to the third change. So we'll go through the third change, starting first facing in one direction and then facing the other direction. It starts the same as the first change and the second change. So that part, at least, we have that as a fortunate arrangement. So this, starting the change, the foot that steps forward, the leg then hooks out. This is into the center of the circle. Like other times, violet swallow crosses its wings, close the door, and push the moon. Or, yeah, close the door, push the moon. From here, we're turning outside of the circle. Sparrowhawk pierces the sky. Turn, step out, embrace the moon, and then step through. Jade Woman presents the book. Mount Tai bears its weight. Step around. Black bear rolls over. The nice thing about video is at this point, you can rewind it and rewatch that and try and figure out how I ended up here. And then you can resume from there and see the second half of the third change. From there, golden eagle clutches the throat. 1, 2. That hand comes in, turn in the foot. The ape sits in the cave. Chi Lin tells a tale. Sparrowhawk skims the water. Embrace the moon. Hide the leaf. And the swan leaves the flock. Don't worry, I'm going to go over it again with a little more detail. That's the overview. We'll do the same thing but facing the other way. This is now the center of the circle. So, like other times, front foot turns slightly open. Step in, close step, and press. Here, we've just turned to the left. Facing the outside of the circle, we turn to the left again. The upper hand comes down, protecting the groin as the right hand, lower hand, drills up. If we keep turning to the left, this lower hand then comes to the small of the back. Turning to the left foot's going to step onto the circle line. Step in and press up. Mount Tai bears its weight, returning still to the left. This hand that's at the crook of the elbow comes around to the abdomen. We push up as we do that opening step. This gets us all the way back to the center of the circle. And then from here, black bear rolls over. We come back to this posture, onto the circle line. When the left foot steps forward, outside foot steps forward, inside hand reaches for the throat. Same on the other side. Turn in that front foot. We're going to turn the body. Bring that hand out. Catch. Hook down. Pierce. Cover. Step. And spear. From here, bring the hands in front of the shoulders. Fall into a drop stance. Both hands pushing out. Come through. Embrace the moon. Open the front foot. Turn in. And reset. Try that again on this side, facing this way. 1, 2, 3. Facing the outside of the circle, sparrowhawk pierces the sky. Keep turning, this time it's to the right, step through. Present the book. The hand keeps pushing up, straight overhead. Here. Step around so we're facing the inside of the circle. Cross the arms. Step out. Open. Reset. Opposite hand to the opposite foot. So in this case, right foot, left hand. And then the reverse. Turn in. Set down. Pierce. Cover. Step. Spear. Drop stance. Come through. Drag, pull. Come around. And set. Same thing facing this way. Here. 1, 2, 3. Main thing is that we keep turning in the same direction. Keep turning in the same direction. Keep turning in the same direction. One, 2. Somehow when I face this way, my angles go all weird. I'll have to do it again facing this way, and hopefully my angles won't be so strange. From here, 1, 2, 3. Turning with my back to the center of the circle, come around. Step out onto the circle line. Lift the inside hand up. Other hand catches at the elbow. We keep turning around, pushing up. Now we're facing into the circle and open. Reset onto the back leg. 1, 2. Turn back to the circle. Set. Step. Pierce. Drop stance into the center of the circle. Come up. Set. And then finish similar to the first change. Very good. There's a lot in that third change. It's a longer change. That's why I suggest breaking it into 2. Try to make sure that you can get from this part, which is familiar, through turning always in the same direction, always in the same direction, always in the same direction to get back to here. First, break it into that half. Find the footwork and the coordination with the hands for that part. From there, the second half with the golden eagle to the ape sitting in the cave, through to the sparrow skims the water. Aside from the drop stance, which is just physically difficult, the second half is a little more straightforward. The beginning of this lesson, I went through 4 of the 8 postures and their techniques. Next class, we'll talk about how they relate to some of the moves that are going on in this technique, or in this change. But of course, you can probably find them as well. Just thinking back to those 4 that we covered and see how they relate to the moves that we've just done. From the cover, palm from the bear, through to the press and the spear of the yin-yang fish, through to the opening and catch the eagle, and lastly, the press within the dragon. Very good. We'll close the class. Oh, should face this way.